Hey guys, welcome back. Jay here for another episode on F1 23 My Team Career Mode for episode 30 today for the Portuguese GP. If you didn't see the last episode in Brazil, then I would highly recommend you go and check that out, as we had the most dominant race of our F1 career so far. We won the race by 4 seconds. We won the sprint race as well. We racked up as many points as we could in that race, except for fastest lap that we didn't get. But with that means that we have a better chance of winning the championship. If you didn't see the last episode or the episode before that, then we discovered that we still had a mathematical chance of winning the championship in season 2. The constructors is way gone, and Mercedes have went and won that already, I'm pretty sure. But the drivers is still up for grabs, and we have a mathematical chance of winning. It is a 4-way tie to see who wins the championship in season 2. And if you asked me at the start of the season if we even had a chance to win it, I would have said no based on our performances, but we pulled it out the bag at the end of the season, like we did at the end of the first season. But we were already way gone that we couldn't win the championship, but we won a couple of races at the end of the last season, so winning a couple of races to get the chance to win the championship is a big deal. The car's definitely better this season, definitely getting some more podiums and stuff in car does feel better. But Portugal, one of my favourite tracks on the game. I've spent hours playing this track on F1 21, which was the first F1 game that I ever played. But Portugal definitely is one of my favourite tracks. It just flows really nice. I think it is one of the more flowing tracks on the calendar that we've chose this season, and hopefully we can do justice to the track and put in a good performance. But we're going to come around at the final turn for our first lap. We are going to go fastest, a 1:17.6. Not bad for a first lap around Portugal, I do have to admit. Again, not bad. We are going to take a really bad line there. I don't know why I thought that was going to work, but it's gained us about a tenth and a half. We could definitely take a different line and get a bit better exit instead of better entry. But we are going to come around the final turn about 2 tenths up in our time, maybe 3 tenths. We are going to cross line to go a 1:17.3. We are definitely improving. The track is warming up here in Portimao for the Portuguese GP here in qualifying. It is just a race, but we do go a wee bit wide. We do have track limits. They are our first warning of the weekend, I do have to admit. It was fair, as the FIA are always fair, but the first warning of the weekend, nothing to worry about though. We're 5 tenths off on our time. We had a brilliant sector 2. The car feels like it's coming alive at the final part of Q1. We're going to cross the line to go a 1:16.8. The first driver to go in to the 1:16s, and we're 2.5 tenths ahead of Max Verstappen. We're only driver to go into the 1:16s in Q1. We might have a genuine shot of pole here for our first pole of our My Team Career Mode, but the Mercedes and Red Bull do look quick around here. The Red Bull started to fall off during the season, as we learned in the last race in Brazil. The Red Bull starting to fall off, and the McLaren is definitely taking the spot of the Red Bull. The McLaren's absolutely rapid around certain tracks, and so is the Alpine, surprisingly, as they got a shock podium last time out, if I'm recalling correctly. They've definitely brought some upgrades to their car. 1:17 for Lando Norris, not a bad lap for him, but we are going to cross the line just about now to go a 1:17.4, and we're up into third, 3 tenths away from Lando Norris. Definitely wasn't my fastest lap around Portimao here. We can go just that wee bit faster, but there goes Lewis Hamilton. He's going to get in our way, and he's going to hamper our chances of getting a good apex there. But that doesn't matter. We're about a tenth up on our time, but we're starting to fall down just a wee bit. as we go round the hairpin now. But as I was saying, the car feels absolutely amazing. 16th up on our time. What can we do? We're going to cross the line to go a 1:16.8. Absolutely flying here in Q2. But yeah, the McLaren's definitely taking the Red Bull's place. You can see there Perez and Max in P4 and 5. They are competing for poles and stuff at the start of this season. The McLaren's always been there at the start of this season, but it took us a bit of time to get up there, as did in real life for the actual McLaren team. As well done for Oscar Piastri getting his first podium in Formula 1 this weekend in Japan. It was a good race. Not fun to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning though. But we are going to cross the line just about now to go about 4 tenths off our time, maybe 5 tenths, but we do go a 1:16.3. Absolutely flying here in Q2 by the end of it. We're 7 tenths in front of Lando Norris. Excuse the voice crack. But we're 7 tenths up on our time, but our teammate Pierre Gasly gets knocked out in Q2 again. It's really hard to judge what to do with Pierre Gasly right now, because he is just starting to struggle just that wee bit more in the car, but hopefully he can get some points in the race. Starting from 11th, there'll probably be some grid penalties as we go to the end of the season now. Not long until the finale in Abu Dhabi, but we do have the Las Vegas GP ahead of us, and then I'm pretty sure it is the Abu Dhabi GP, but we do go a 1:16.8 for our first lap in Q3, and the track has definitely ramped up a lot, but we're starting to struggle just a wee bit more here in Q3. We are still holding on to that top dog spot, but that is before the track ramped up. So now the track has evolutionized, as you would say, but we are going to go for our last flyer here in Q3. We're about just up on our time. We're going to come around the first turn, round the second turn, and round the third turn now, but we have a wee bit of a lock up there. That's not good for us, as it's hampered our time, but we're full throttle near enough through that left-hander, carrying a lot more speed. We're about 1.5 tenths up on our time. Purple sector 1, maybe about 2 tenths by the time we get to the hairpin, but we're starting to drop off. We're starting to gain that time back now as we slow down a bit more for the hairpin. We're about 1 tenth and just a half up on our time, but by the time we're going to come across the line, it's only going to be about 1 tenth up on our time, a 1:16.7. I think that might just be enough for pole, and it's not. It's just enough for P3. We're 10th off of Mr. Lewis Hamilton. The top 3 is separated by 1 tenth, and the top 10 is separated by 6 tenths. You can just tell how close the midfield to the front 3 is, as we are definitely in that top 3. It's definitely right now the Mercedes, Lando, the McLarens and us, but let's go to the race.
Welcome along then to Portimao, one of the busiest towns in the Algarve and a breathtaking destination that brings tourists from all around the world to the shores of southern Portugal. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula 1 World Championship, and with a circuit this wide, we could be in for a lot of exciting wheel-to-wheel action today. So Portimao features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9-mile length. 9 are right-handers, 6 are to the left. This is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Iceman, Norris, Russell, Sainz, Bottas, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Stroll, Doohan, Magnussen, Liam Lawson, Tsunoda, Ocon, Iwasa, Perez, Joe, De Vries, Sargent, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie.
There is one or two engine penalties for a couple drivers as our teammate moves up into 10th. He's gained a position off at engine penalties, but we are going to try and gain positions at the start of this race. It is 5 red lights, and now it is 5 red lights, and away we go. But as you can see there on the bottom right, we've got engine wear on our gearbox, and I'm pretty sure the AMG UHK as well as I saw in qualifying, and we're going to have a really bad race here as we go a bit wide. We do make the overtake before we go wide though, so it does count. The FIA hasn't told me to give that place back yet, but it is going to be a hard race for us as the engine does look like it will struggle during this race, and we might have a problem here to go and try and win this race. Lewis Hamilton is our main contender for that championship top spot, and that's probably who we're going to be battling during the course of the remainder of this season. But we are going to cross the line to go a 1:19.0. We're pushing so much at the opening stint of our first stint, but we're going to dive down the inside of the hairpin. It's a bad mistake because Lewis is going to go for the switchback, getting a good traction, but we're going to get better traction out of the hairpin. Who's going to come out on top here? We're going to dive down the inside. We're going to make the move stick, and we're up into P1 in this race on lap 7. Lewis Hamilton is behind on them soft compound tyres. He's going to have a wee bit more grip, but we're going to go for the long to the medium stint here. Can we maybe go for the switchback? We won't go need the switchback as we do get ahead of Lewis Hamilton and keep first position on lap 7 of this 23 lap race. As you can see there, the engine is not the best. We're going to peel into the pits on lap 9. I could have went a wee bit longer, but lap 9 does seem like the best strategy for us in terms of trying to get the jump on Lewis Hamilton as he's not pitted. Another Mercedes pit stop, George Russell pits as we're going to peel into the pits, our pit box now. Can we get a good pit stop here? We're going to get a 2.3 second pit stop, not the worst ever, but we are going to come out the pits now in P19. We're going to have a lot of work to do from here, but on lap 10 we're still in lap 19th place. Sorry, we're in as I was speaking there, but we do still stick in P19 as people are starting to peel into the pits. There you can see in the bottom left corner of the screen, there goes everybody diving into the pits that hasn't pitted yet, but a couple other drivers will be sticking a wee bit longer. There's only 3 drivers pitted, but there's still a lot of drivers to pit in this race as Charles Leclerc comes in to the pits. Can we get the jump on them just before they come out the pits? Yes, we do, comfortably, and we're up into P16 after all them pit stops, and now we're gaining on Nick de Vries and Alexander Albon as they're starting to struggle on their soft compounded tyres, and we do have the better life in our mediums, but we're going faster in sector 1 and sector 2. So absolutely flying on this new medium compounded tyres. Our teammate Pierre Gasly has peeled into the pits, and I'm pretty sure Nick de Vries are going to peel into the pits as well. Can we try and just get a good slipstream off him? He's not going to peel into the pits. That's interesting revolution, but we are going to come across the line to go a 1:18.8. Going pretty fast here in Portimao, and we're just going to try and catch up. But after a lot of pit stops there, we're up into P6 for Carlos Sainz. Nicks our fastest lap off of us. Not the best thing in the world. I do have to admit, we kind of need all the points we can get, so I might try and push a wee bit more towards the end of the race. If we've got a big enough gap, maybe pit for a new set of soft tyres, as I did save a set for the race here in Portimao. But we're in P6 and we're gaining on Alexander Albon. We've definitely got the faster car than the Alpha Tauri, so we are again just trying to push as much as we can on our medium stint, as this is our last stint. We go a wee bit wide there, carrying a bit too much speed, but we are maybe going to dive down the inside. Alexander Albon here, I did have a look, but we weren't close enough. But round the right hander we go now. Can I try and wrap it around the outside? I'm looking to see if I can find a gap up the inside or round the outside of Alexander Albon, but he's putting his car where he needs to. but we are going to try and wrap around the outside. We've got a better traction, but our engine is near enough on red as we go into lap 13. And we're up into P3, up into P2 because of pit stops. And Yuki Tsunoda, he's not pitted obviously, and now we've got a 3/10 gap to George Russell. We've got the fastest lap, but he's going to try and go around the outside of turn 1. It's not going to work. We're going to squeeze him and we will get the position back, and we're back up into P1 of this race on lap 22 of 23, and it looks like we do have this one in the bag. Lewis Hamilton in P5, we need him to stay there, but if George Russell and Max Verstappen keep on fighting, that's going to get Lando Norris involved, and then he's going to be held up, and then that's going to get Mr. Lewis Hamilton involved, and he might move up, and he has moved up. He's moved up into P4, and we need him to stay there. He is going to stay there. We're going to come around the final turn. Our engine is red. We're going to take an engine penalty in the next race. We're going to cross a line to win the Portuguese GP in Season 2. And that will give us a better chance of trying to win the championship here in Season 2. And we might just have one hand firmly on that championship trophy. Driver of the day. What an absolute incredible race for our first return to Portimao in our My Team Career Mode series.
And I'm sure there'll be celebrations tonight. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Welcome then to the podium.
Not the first time I've walked out of the winner's tunnel to take that P1 position on the podium. Max Verstappen takes P2 and George Russell takes P3 in the Portimao Portuguese GP. It was a great race for us, getting the fastest lap back as well, so we're going to get as maximum points as we can here this weekend, and we're going to try and get maximum points in Las Vegas as we can as well. And can we go and win that for the second season in a row? Maybe we're just a street master of Las Vegas. We're going to have to try and find that out in the next episode, for episode 31 for the Las Vegas GP in America. I do hope you enjoyed this video. 26 points. Our teammate gets 2 points, moves up into P9. Not a bad race for him. It would be better if he got a wee bit higher. Valtteri Bottas stayed where he was, started 7th and 7th. Oscar Piastri had a good race, started P9, ended up P6, but the McLaren started to tumble down the order. Lewis Hamilton tumbled down to 4th. But we are going to win the Portuguese GP. It was a great race for us, one of our more comfortable race victories. I do have to say that, but even though it was a 4/10 gap to Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc ended up DNFing at the end of the race, and we're 22 points away from the championship. And if we win and Lewis Hamilton doesn't get a podium, we might have the championship, but I will see you in the next one.